Greetings, true believers. This is Eric Basir, aka the Black Rhino. I just finished inking some fan art for Natalie Wright's Half book, Half One, Half book number one. This is an interesting title I saw on Twitter, and sometimes I like to just crack open a book on the preview page and look at what I can find. Sometimes I see an interesting sentence or paragraph, and I want to challenge myself and draw it. A lot of fan art is done of superheroes already established. I decided to take a different spin on it and seek out novelists and try to do fan art as if we would take their story and make a graphic novel out of it. There isn't any dialogue in this, so I used all the descriptions in the paragraph as if she was writing a script and I had to draw it. So Erica pulled back the throttle and urged her dusty machine to go faster. Her long, dark hair flew behind her, twisting and twirling in the hot wind. It would be ratty by the end of the ride, but knots in her hair were a small price to pay for the feeling of freedom. So I thought these were some really great sentences, and how to draw it. A couple months ago, I said, I gotta draw this. And I even put it on Twitter, and she responded and said, I'd like to see that. So I said, well, that's my challenge, and I can make some stock art from this, but again, this is not being charged for. This is just something I wanted to do. So hot air. Obviously, it has to be a desert, and I believe this character is in a desert. And the author actually likes the desert, specifically in the Tucson, Arizona area. So I got some source images of the Sonoran Desert, some of the mountain ranges there, of course, the cacti. You'll see that all around. So maybe you want to see how I went about doing this. This is Clip Studio Paint, and I got everything pretty well organized here. So if I just turn off all of this and then turn on the draft, you can see where I left off, where I built it from. Now, the rough draft, the first sketches were actually done here, and as you can see, it's just a sketch. It's a rough sketch to get a concept, and then every panel had that type of appearance. So I turn these off. So I looked at the description. I came up with this. I had another one before this, but this was much stronger. So I did the car. Now, the character, I believe, is actually riding a motorcycle. And, I just wanted to take just a different spin on it. Now, if you're ever, if I was ever hired to do it, I would never take such liberties with the author's creation. But sometimes when you're inspired by something, you take it to a different level. And so I made kind of like a land speeder ship device. Clouds and some mountains in the far. I had the speed with the smoke, with the dust, because it's a desert, That's some pretty rough looking dust, but whatever, I'm not a great artist. I'm just trying to tell a story. So, and these mountains here. And this was fun down here. You got the character just kind of enjoying the ride. I like to take different camera angles, and we have the hand on the steering wheel. Fingers are kind of thick, but oh well. Little motion lines. Got to show motion, because this story is all about speed, and then using the throttle. So I think that was a motorcycle throttle, so I made it like some kind of gear shift thing on the car. And I actually drew all this without reference or 3D models. So it's kind of rough, but and this is a close-up of the face through the visors, the eyes, you know. And one thing I really like to do is I love rulers. So I have rules of third, golden slant. I got all these from Doug Hill's page. Oops, my timer is coming. I will skip it while I'm recording. That forces me to get up and not sit all day. But if I turn this on here, there you go. So I will then zoom in here. This is a slant. This is called a golden slant. So with my composition, I wanted the mountains to be big here, the smoke to be big here, and kind of descend. And then it's like the cacti are looking up at her moving, and she falls right on that second, third section. You know, and I generally just do a composition without the ruler, but once I'm ready to do a tight pencil of it, then I will use a ruler. It just makes a big difference, in my opinion, when you're using rulers. Same here. Again, ruler thirds applies. So I have the hand here, I have the eyes there. And this one, it's kind of centered. So I figure she's pushing the lever up. So it's from down here to up here to the middle. And of course the eye right there, pupil. I suppose it should be on the, you know, the specular highlight should probably be here, but I don't know. I kind of like it. It's kind of pointing up into the black space. And so some rules of composition, also some concepts of composition, not really rules, but some concepts are, when you have a lot happening, try to keep the eye on one area of the screen. So here's a target, here's a target. So this one is a target, and then this head kind of falls in the same spot. And we have, again, composition, rule of thirds. Here her head's placed right here. There's the hair moving in the wind. That was fun to do. Here's her like a rocket blast here. To color it would be cool because this would be like red and yellow. And then it's sunset, so that'd be red and yellow up there. So it'd be really interesting. So this one was really tough, but it was fun. I really wanted to do it, and that's because of the hair. And hair takes a lot of practice. And as you see, I need more practice. But you got that motion. Again, we got the desert. We got the long shadows. Got her machine that she's in. In the script, what she wrote, the script, her book says machine. So I thought, it could be anything. So that's what I did. Well, yeah, that'll about do it. So I will call it quits and say thank you very much. It's looks like a great book. I definitely recommend everyone go to Amazon, check it out, check out the author, and definitely go to you know, my site. So I showed you the author page. I want you to go to my site when you get a chance, BadineSecret.com, and I want you to check out this graphic novel project that I'm working on. And if you like my style of drawing and my way of telling the story, well, you're definitely going to like this graphic novel. And we have a number of mini sagas coming out before the graphic novel. These are exclusive stories based on the graphic novel, and all the characters have their own Twitter accounts, so check them out. You can get to know them. And it's a historical fiction graphic novel adventure featuring real people who existed in Swedish history. So anyways, take care.